So I've been wondering lately, exactly how much has my art changed since graduating animation school? I graduated over 8 years ago now, and I'm really curious to see how my art holds up to my art now. I'm gonna try to find some old artwork I did in school and then redraw it and put it side by side and see exactly how I've changed. All right, let's try to find some college art and see if I still have my blog spot from 12 years ago. So I found this old blog spot. Hi, I'm a third year animation student. October 28th, 2014. We're gonna look at some 9-10-year-old artwork and try to redraw that. I pray to God that I've changed. Scrolling through here, I found this thing, and I think this is a third year life drawing thing I did, where we took the life drawing model and we kind of turned it into characters. And I think this is probably a good one to redraw, because I don't think I really knew how to draw characters back then. This guy has no neck. She kind of looks like Elmer Fudd. So yeah, I think this would probably be a good one to tackle. I'm already seeing a lot of potential for change. A lot of change. Alright, I got this image in the old Photoshop. I think the first thing we need to do is thumbnail this, cause this ain't it. This isn't the composition that we want. I've developed a lot of skills in my years, and one of them is storyboarding. So that's how I'm gonna tackle this today, from the perspective of a storyboard artist. And I'm gonna just try to figure out a better composition for this drawing. Maybe like this, maybe in perspective, introduce a bit more perspective into it. Instead of the orc jumping, you can have maybe the orc with an axe. It frames her a little bit. That could be cool. That's a kind of a cool way to go about it. It's less dynamic, granted. I'll give you that. Less dynamic. However, better storytelling? Potentially. Let's do another thumbnail. Maybe a down shot? I don't know how I feel about it. I don't know if that's the route I want to go. I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna try some more. Maybe reverse. Maybe we can reverse it. Something like this could work as well. And you know what? I'm kind of digging this one. I'm kind of feeling this one more. This one feels more epic than the rest, and then we can have trees or something, give it a background, give it some life. So between these two, I'm a little bit more excited to draw the orc. So I think I'm gonna go for, this is the one I'm gonna take. We're gonna blow this one up and we're gonna draw it. And let's go. All right, so here I've blown it up to be big and nice for us to be able to start drawing over. I made this image into a layer comp so I can easily flip back and forth so we can quickly see the differences and go back for inspiration, because it's a very inspiring piece. I need to see how that clearly very well researched Viking helmet looked like, that rope belt, which also very well researched. As you can tell, I did my due diligence. I looked up Viking belt clearly and I knew my anatomy and everything. And boy did I know how to draw axes. That's one sturdy axe, I tell you. That's one sturdy axe. I'll probably change up her outfit. Yeah, I'll probably change it up. This isn't working for me. I'll keep the spirit of it. I'll keep a cape. I'll keep something similar with the hat. I'm gonna, obviously spikes. I would never think to get rid of the spikes. Yeah, perfect. I can tell this one's gonna be good. All right, let's start with the girl, because she's kind of the biggest thing on the screen, and I kind of want to figure her out before I move on to the orc. Let's figure out her design. I want her to have kind of a pointed nose, and I want her to be kind of grimacing a little bit. All right, let's slot in where the hat will be. So I'm not gonna do a rough and then a clean. I'm just gonna go in with a clean, because life is too short to draw things twice. And I've been saying that. That's actually all I say. I hate drawing stuff twice. I'm gonna redraw this grimace. Something's off in his mouth. I don't really know how to draw braids. I feel like I've kind of faked doing braid shorthands for this long. Let's find a shape maybe, and then work our way into that shape. I don't really know. I just draw it until it looks right. It's probably be the right time to pull up reference, but hey, we're doing it live. Alright, I changed the mouth to match perspective, and now I'm gonna change the eyebrow a little bit to also match the perspective that we're in. Hopefully that looks a little bit better, because it was looking a little weird to me. Let's attach these horns. What kind of horns do we want? We don't have to give her the same horns, right? Like, these are kind of stupid, generic, like, cartoon whatever horns, right? Give her, like, more beastly looking horns. You know, maybe they lean forward a bit. Like a ram's horns? Yeah, maybe okay, it's a good idea, Daniel. Keep up the good work. Everyone loves a fuzzy cloak, and I kind of got to figure out how this cape is going to flow before I really start adding anything to it. Alright, I realized I can't really draw the cloak until I draw the rest of her body, so I know how it fits over it. My mistake. It's really humbling to make a lot of mistakes while recording yourself drawing. You know what, maybe it does pay to do roughs, rather than trying to figure out everything from the thumbnail. Nah, I love doing this. Her hand, I'll probably end up redrawing that hand quite a few times, as is tradition. Let's shrink down this hand, it's a little too big. I'm not gonna play with so much perspective. Should I ever hold the axe with both hands? Is that crazy? Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. Forget I said anything. I don't know what I was thinking. And then as for the cloak, here's when the cloak comes up. The hair would be above the cloak, right? I'm crazy. You know, maybe we get rid of the hair too. Maybe that ruins it as well. Nah, I like the hair. Bring it back. Yeah, perfect. Perfect. I've never felt better about a drawing than I do right now. Equally well researched. Not bad. Not bad. Should I have drawn the axe before I drew the hand? Yeah, it's a bit better. Play around with how the hand grips the axe. Because that's kind of an important detail a lot of people miss, is that it doesn't perfectly make a fist over a weapon. It actually has to go around the tube. Do I want to make it a sword? Should they both have axes? It's kind of cringe if they both have axes. No, it's cool. It's cool. I don't know why I doubted myself. This is roughly what axes look like, I think. I hope. Again, for some reason, I would prefer this video to be equally not researched, just to see pure drawing ability. Obviously, if I was to research it, it would look better in various ways. But you know what? We're just playing it by ear. We're gonna see just pure drawing ability, how much I've changed. I think it's a bit more fun. Alright, she's looking fine. She's looking decent. I'm gonna create some areas of like pure dark to like just increase the contrast, just so it doesn't look as like line worky, which it kind of does right now. And almost kind of give it like the Frank Frazetta kind of like very contrasty look, which I think fits the Viking theme. Kind of regret doing this Frank Frazetta thing in the back. I'm gonna erase that, redraw it. You know what? The braids are not working for me. I'm gonna nix the braids. I'm simply not feeling them. I'm gonna go to like maybe like a ponytail type thing. Or maybe, you know what? I'll just keep the hair long. You know what I mean? I had it right. I was doing it right in the old version. And I want the hair to kind of like swoop forward like this. I think it's really cool when hair swoops forward instead of swooping backwards. So I've changed the cape into like a little like mini cape. Check back in. Alright, so it's changed quite a bit. You know what? I brought back a lot of stuff, like the long swoopy hair. Maybe I had some things going for me back then. Maybe I'll add a shield. I'm not sure. Should I add a shield or maybe another axe? No, but I'm considering shield. Should I add a shield? No shield. No shield. It's enough. It's enough. I'm doing enough. I'm doing too much. Whew. What a journey. Alright, we've drawn the girl. Now it's time to draw the guy. And by guy, I mean raging orc. It's time to draw the raging orc. This one I feel like I'll have an easier time with because I don't really draw orcs, so I don't have a specific way of doing it. For the girl, I kind of knew what I wanted and it was harder to match what I imagined in my head. While this orc, I don't care. Similar to this guy, he's gonna be muscular, he's gonna have two cool badass axes, and he's gonna have a loincloth. I'll still give him sharp teeth, but I'll make it less gummy than this. Come on, poor guy. Gingivitis, God knows what else. Probably losing teeth. Give him like one layer of shark teeth. I feel bad for the guy. So I'm gonna give the guy, first of all, a better expression, a real expression. I'm gonna make him look like he has feelings, not like this guy, crazy. Anatomy, I almost feel like I knew more anatomy back then. I was like going to life drawing every day. Definitely didn't know anything about necks because I didn't give him a neck. So armpit goes in here. Tricep is probably a bit lower than that. His pec probably goes into here. Something like that. Some armpit thing. I don't know why I chose to draw 2 armpits. Give him pecs. You know what? I want to push it even more. I didn't push it enough. I'm going to start with kind of like a line of action. I'm going to block this all in. And then as for the legs, I guess I kind of like what I did before. So I'm going to keep that kind of swinging leg motion. Maybe I'll do 1 leg in front because I feel like variety is the spice of life. He's got his pecs in the front. I'm going to give him his nipples back because I like those. Can I give them more of an identity? Gotta make sure he has a neck. Do I want a closed mouth or open mouth? I'm kind of leaning towards closed right now. Nah, he's too cute right now. I need to make it look more disgusting like this guy. My characters got too cute and I messed up. I have to evaluate how I think. I think everything should be like kind of cute and charming. This doesn't look scary. I messed up somewhere. Alright, let's erase his face and try again. Bigger eyebrows, bigger nose. Again, not scary enough. Again, I don't know what I need to do. I've lost it. I've lost the touch. I used to be able to draw a lot of things really creepy and spooky. I'm gonna reopen his mouth because I feel like that adds to it. And I'm gonna make his eyes really small. No, that's cute again. Oh my god. Alright. You guys will be the judges of if it's cute or not. I don't think it's that cute. You know, I don't know about having this 1 foot in front. Maybe we go back to the old pose. You know what? I had a lot of going for me in that old drawing. We get some darker tones in there for contrast. Just where the shadows are like at their darkest, under the neck. So we get drawn to seeing there. In the mouth too. We want to see a bit of contrast. So I'll just color it black. I'll refine the teeth and make them sharper. And then maybe add some gum because that always helps make something look a bit more menacing. At least I think it does. And then maybe add some drool or something. And there's the orc. There's our main orc. Let's try adding a little bit of background. You know, I'm not going to spend too much time on this. This is really going to be basically the background you would find in like a storyboard. And not a good storyboard either. Like a rough storyboard. You know, we have some trees in the background. We'll have our perspective lines in the back. I guess we can have a bit of the ground at the bottom here. Just a tiny bit. Have the trees kind of facing this way for action's sake. I'll include some action lines. And let's see what we have so far. This is the old. This is the new. I'm not sure if I'm going to color it. I'm not really a color guy, so I might just tone it and have that be enough. Yeah, you know what? I'm just gonna tone it. Coloring it is gonna take me years. And honestly, this is what I do now. So I'm gonna do a kind of basic black and white grayscale type thing, similar to how I would do like a beat board. It's gonna be daytime. The light is gonna come from behind the orc. So first I'll tone our heroine. Turns out this is about a hero versus villain assignment. I didn't know that. I'm gonna do kind of maybe a bit of a darker gray. She's a bit more in the foreground than the orc is. Even though the orc is going to be against the sun, so he's going to appear actually darker than she is. It's also turning out to be a bit of how I tone stuff as well. So if anyone wanted to see that, here you go. Cleaning up all these out of line things that I did, because it's easier to do a big lasso tool and then fix it later than carefully go in and meticulously tone everything. I'm sure there's another way. I'm sure people in the comments are going to tell me a much easier way to do this. If you do, please let me know. I'm sick and tired of this. This takes me too long. I hate the lasso tool. So yeah, please let me know. I'm begging for a more convenient thing. I'll first do kind of like this generalized tone for each part, and then I'll add the lighting after, because I don't like spending a lot of time figuring out the lighting first. I'd rather just kind of have a lighting layer and play around with it. Alright, that's the girl toned. Now I'm gonna tone the orc. He should be easy. He seems a lot simpler. Because he's in sun, probably be naturally a bit darker. The sun will be kind of like right here behind him. I'm kind of inspired. I think I was inspired by Warhammer when I did this. I think there's heavy Warhammer orc inspiration here. So now we got both our characters kind of settled in place here. I'm gonna now do a quick background pass where I'm just gonna do like a basic singular shade for all the background. Just something like that, just so I have kind of a basis to work off of. I'm gonna take a kind of soft round and lay out where I want my lights to be and where I want my kind of darks to be. So I'm gonna start toning the girl, and for her, I kind of want him to be almost like he's casting a shadow on her. I think that'll be pretty cinematic looking. I'm gonna take kind of like a textured brush so it doesn't look too clean. Kind of want to make it feel like it's just over one part of her, probably up till there. She'll still have her normal cast shadow. I want it to really feel like he's casting this big shadow on her, which might be a little hard to pull off. And then I can have where his shadow didn't hit to make it kind of stand out that he's casting the shadow, make it feel a lot more bright, kind of exactly where he's not casting. Kind of go over the line work in white, just feel like kind of this harsh shadow. And I'll take kind of like a soft brush and create kind of these harsher lines. And then inside of the shadow, I'll kind of darken it up with this like kind of textured dark brush, just to add to the grittiness a little bit, get some texture in there because you don't want the tone to feel a little too flat. I also use this brush to create some depth on the face, just so we don't have a single layer. The face will also have some brighter parts, so we don't want to make it so she's just in darkness. And I keep the back a little darker than the front, just so our eye gets kind of pushed into the head area. This kind of isn't following any toning rules. I'm doing this completely for stylistic reasons. I'll move on to him because he is in front of the sun. So basically his entire front of his body, excluding like a little bit of rim light, will be dark. I'm going to add the rim light here. Try to keep it to one side, even though it'll most likely be like all around him, just because I think that would be too much rim light. I'm just going directly over the line work underneath some parts. Use it to highlight some of the abs or something. Maybe a little bit on the side, but not too much. The sun is coming from over kind of that way. And I will have the sun kind of beam over him. It gives him like a little bit of a glow. Probably add more of a glow on her too. And then I will add a bit more of like kind of a grungy, darker layer on top to make it feel like it has a bit more depth. I'll kind of go along the forms a little bit more, create some depth on his face, around his ears, underneath his neck. I'm gonna also highlight his like abs a little more, just because I think that's a fun thing to do. I'm now gonna probably focus on the background a little bit. I'm gonna create maybe a darker layer inside the trees and kind of on the ground, kind of bring more form into these trees a little bit. Trees out a little bit, kind of get darker as we go over here. So I do press a lot lighter over here than I do over here. For the background, I want to get actually more hatching involved, just so it stands out a little bit more, kind of separate it from the character a little bit. And I want to give it like a slightly more comic booky aesthetic. So I'm just going to do some very light, quick hatching, getting lighter as I go up. And then underneath this character, I'll probably make her pop out a little bit with a light opacity. I'm gonna get the tree highlights in, you know, make them stand out a little bit more. Fake some bushes here in the light. Maybe there's some light on the ground here. And then I also want to get some kind of clouds involved. I also want it to kind of help lead the eye over, so they're not just kind of random. They have more of a purpose. I also want to get some more texture in the sky because I hate how flat it feels. So I'm just going to go with this like kind of painterly paintbrush and create some strokes. And then also some strokes where this forest is. We're going to make the main character pop some more with some glows. As you can see, I really like doing fat glows, which I don't know if that ruins the image, but I literally can't help myself. And then maybe just for style, I'll add some quick cross hatching on the orc, just to make him feel like he's kind of about to leap on us, kind of make him feel a little grungier, give him some movement lines, and also add some quick hatching on our main character here. I like giving the piece some like movement with the hatching. And then what I'll do is I'll probably take the whole background, take it into a single file, merge that bad boy, maybe blur? Let's see, Gaussian blur. Yeah, maybe I like the blur. And then I take the whole thing, take the entire project, group it all, duplicate that group just in case, merge that bad boy, and now we can play around with like levels and stuff and make it feel a lot nicer, kind of increase the contrast. You see how much better that looks? Why can't I do that? And then I don't really mess with curves, but that does stuff, right? I'm gonna be honest, I have no idea what this thing does. All I know is that some people swear by it. I don't get it, but I guess I could play around with it a bit. I guess it does look better. You know, maybe there's such a thing as too much manipulation. Alright, and then one thing I love to do, I don't know why, but this just makes everything so much better. Noise. Adding noise makes it feel so much more crunchy. I don't know if that's the right word, but boy, does it feel crunchier. Feels like an actual like comic book or something, an actual movie or I don't know. It just feels cool. I guess this is the final. I guess it's done. I guess this is it. That's the final version. This is the new one, and then I guess this is the old one. I didn't keep much. Kept a little bit. I changed almost everything, but you got to do what you got to do. Yeah, I guess this is way more close to my current style. So yeah, if you guys are curious as to how I evolved, I think the vibe of the piece is still there. You know, I kind of fixed a lot of stuff in terms of the perspective and the expressions. It's a lot more dynamic. I feel like that's what I wanted to accomplish, and I feel like the characters are a lot more appealing. We get a lot clearer reads of their emotional states. They're a lot more fun to look at, except for maybe him. He's pretty fun to look at. Maybe I didn't plus the orc, but you know what? Her, I fixed the Elmer Fudd face. I count that as a win. If I leave here with one thing done, is that I fixed the Elmer Fudd face and I made the axe look a little bit better. And I gave him a neck, but I do think he's too cute. This is way more vile. This is scary. I've lost something in me. Something's gone. That's it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed seeing me rip apart my college artwork. I am so glad that they look different and that my art has changed. All that work was not for nothing. If you liked it, leave a comment, like, subscribe, whatever you guys want to do. Let me know what you want to see next, and bye.